Good morning, everyone. It's another rainy day, perfect for crafting. Welcome to This or That Thursday. I'm Karen Kong. I'm a demonstrator in the Ottawa area, and every Wednesday I try to post 2 cards where I ask my crafting friends to vote on which one I should make live on Thursday mornings. So that's what we're doing today. So I made a really complicated fun fold last week. This week it's more simpler cards, but for some reason this week I really like the white on white background, textured background look. So that's what I'm doing today. Anything I want to tell you guys? The BOGO sale is still going on. So if you like the kits, you know, there's Stamparatus having the buy one get one half off sale right now, and the last chance sale is still going on, I think, for retiring products, so that's another good deal to get in on. And I think that's it for today, so I think I'm just gonna get started. And like I said, I don't usually plan these things. I don't have a lot done ahead of time, so you'll have to bear with me as I have to remeasure some things and figure out the measurements, basically. So, okay, good morning, Sandra. Thanks for joining in. I'm going to switch my camera over to the desk and we'll get started. Okay, so just close your eyes for a sec. All right. And mount my camera. Then I think I'll just zoom in just a little bit. Okay. All right. Oh, and I forgot to set up my my desktop. Hang on a sec. I want to see your comments now that my camera is mounted. So I have to start the video on my desktop. Just a second. Let's see. All right. There we go. Okay. I can see my desktop. Good. Looks like it's a little too far over. Just let me adjust the camera. Hopefully that's better. Okay. All right. So this week I made these 2 cards. And you can see the color scheme going on. It's the blue and purpley kind of scheme that I have this week. Just happened to be that way. So it was actually came down closer than I thought. It was like a 5-3 vote for the teacups. So that's what we're making today. I'm going to put the succulents aside. I do love the succulents. Yeah, I really love this card too. Anyway, so we're making the teacups today. I want to put the succulents over on the side. And so there's I did a lot of layering, so there's a gorgeous grape background and then an embossed white layer on top of that, and then I put the teacups on. So I layered the teacups, and the original design for this card came from Tammy Wilson, and she does a lot of watercolor, her own watercolor backgrounds. So she makes her own backgrounds, and I haven't gone that route yet. That's more work than I'm willing to take on at this point. But you know what? It occurred to me that I do have the Simply Marbleous paper from a previous Sale-a-bration. So I thought that would make a good substitute. I'm just going to look at Sandra's. Did I use the basic white? Oh, I just used, yes, just basic white. I didn't use the thick white. I don't think I've ever used thick white for embossing. I'm not sure if you would really see a difference, but this is just regular white. Yeah, so I used the Simply Marbleous paper, and I think it turned out really well. Just I had to position, you know, my dies like on the right spots to get, like, you know, enough marbling, because some of the hearts turned out with like just plain color on it, and it didn't stand out quite as much. So, but it worked out really well. I'm really happy with this card. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start. So the first thing I did, okay, let me move this aside. It's a white card base, so I'll just cut my card base first. And we'll go from there. Bring out my trimmer. Get a piece of white. So it's just a standard. Oh, you're curious if the thick white would show deeper embossing. Yeah, I don't know. Might be a little bit harder to get through the machine, but I don't know. I'm not sure if it would show deeper embossing. Interesting. Okay, so I'm cutting this in half at 5.5 inches. Okay. And then I'm scoring at 4.25. Okay. And then I need a, this is a gorgeous grape background. So I'm just gonna grab a sheet of this. And that gorgeous grape is 4 by 5.5. So I'm going to cut this in at the halfway mark again, 5.5. And then I'm going to cut off 4 inches. You know, okay, so Sandra, you're saying you haven't ventured into thick and basic white. You know what, I didn't really see the need for the thick basic white unless you really like having like a really sturdy, heavy card base. It's personal preference, I think, at that point, but where I saw that it made a big difference is when you're using the blends markers. So when I used, when I colored the succulents, that one requires a lot of coloring, so I'll just bring it out again for a second. To get all the different shading in here, I used several different colors of blends markers and like colored over them several times. And I found that with thick white, it absorbs the ink better. It doesn't bleed as much and allows me to work with the inks better. Whereas on a regular white, yeah, I found it bled more. It doesn't blend as well. But it's only if you're doing heavy coloring. I mean, for regular coloring, if you're just doing, you know, just a little bit of shading and stuff, it's not a big deal. But for these succulents, I found because I'm doing a lot of blending, like I have like about 3 colors to blend the tips, I really need the thick basic white to absorb the excess ink and to allow me to blend it. So that's really the only reason that I would bring out my thick basic white. Okay, so there's the white background, and then I need the white layer. So the white layer is just a smidgen narrower than the purple. So it is 3 7/8 by 5.5. So this is already 5.5 because I cut it in half from the first one. So I need 3 7/8 this time in width. I'll just cut that. Okay. So, what should I do? Okay, so I'll put the card base together. Get those pieces put together so they don't get misplaced, so that it's easier to find stuff on my desktop. So I'm just trying to line these up with the corners before I burnish the folds. Okay, there's my card base, and then the purple goes right on top in the middle. So nothing special about that. It's top to bottom. I liked how it didn't give me, I didn't have like a little edge on this, the bottom for this card. Where did I put my tear and tape? Well, I'm just going to use these stamp and seal. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to center this. Oops. That's good. And then I need to emboss this layer. So I need my cut and emboss machine. All right. This one, okay, so this embossing plate, let's just get it out. So for those of you who are not familiar with the cut and emboss machine and get confused by, you know, what layers of what they call the sandwich, these plates, they have all the directions written here, so I always refer to it. So for this, because it's not called, this is a regular embossing folder, it's not a 3D one, so the regular embossing folder, it just says I need plate 1, which is this one, and the 2 number 3 plates. Okay, so this is the Pretty Flowers embossing folder. I really like it. It is what it says, it's pretty. Okay, so I'm just going to line it up. And always place the hinge towards the inside of the machine so it goes through first. I'm going to roll it through. Okay. So gorgeous. All right, so there's the embossed layer. And I'm going to adhere that first. Okay, so you could put it either way. So the raised side is the embossed side, and the other side is the debossed side. And I think both look beautiful, but I'm just going to put the embossed side up. Okay. And I like to use glue for embossed pieces because there's, you know, so many ridges and stuff. Just personal preference. I don't know if it actually makes a huge difference to if it adheres better, but my personal preference is just to use glue. Okay. All right, and then it gives me a little bit of wiggle room when I place it to center it if I found that I just a little bit off, because you know I like having everything lined up. Okay, that's pretty good. All right. Okay, so I'll let that dry. Okay, so let's see, I have teacups to make, so we'll get the teacup dies out. Just looking for my scrap white. So see, I had started coloring this one and the colors didn't work out. It takes some experimentation sometimes to figure out what looks good together. So that one was a failed experiment. I already knew that I did not like how that looked, so I started again. Okay, so I'm gonna need my Simply Marbleous paper. And I think this one will fit here. Yeah, perfect. Okay, that one will fit there. And I'm gonna need to cut out the white on top. So I've got some mistakes on this, but you know what? I can still use it for creating the top and not waste it. Okay. This one, okay, so I need my cut and emboss machine. Let me move these out of the way. Okay, because I'm going back to cutting, I need that white plate, number 2. I'm gonna stick that back in. Okay, so here's my teacup. This is the background for my teacup. And I need the top part too. The top part is just white. I just need a piece of white to cut out. There it is. All right, I'll just push this over. And we'll cut them both at the same time. All right. Okay, let's put that through. I really like these teacups. They kind of grew on me. I know Tara's not a huge fan. That's okay. Not everybody likes everything. Okay. Actually, I have that cool new tool that I could use to poke out all the pieces, but this doesn't really have that many pieces to poke out, so it's okay. Although I might get it out the next one. There we go. There's the white. And here's my background. And I'll do the same thing again for the green Marbleous, or Marbleous, that is, paper. I'm just going to dump these pieces in my recycling. All right, good. Maybe another piece of white. Here we go. This here. I wonder if it fit better like this. Oh, I don't know. Okay, we'll put it through that way. And I'll get the green. Where did it go? Actually, it's a greeny blue. I'm not exactly sure. I forget which one it is. This is going to be too big. I'm going to cut off a section before I put it through. Got a smaller piece so I can fit both of them on here. I'm trying to angle this because I know, like, you know, if I put it through straight, that I might get that big snapping sound because I'm trying to force the entire edge underneath the roller, whereas if I turn it, it's going in, part of it is going in at a time, right? So that's why I turn it. Okay, put this through. I really like using like DSP to create the color in the card. It's a unique way to get it's a way to get a unique kind of background that you don't stamp, and to get some texture into it. Okay, let me get that little brush out. And I'm going to be a little lazy and not even put it on the take your pick tool, because this is really a tiny job. Whoops. Okay, almost done. 2 more pieces. So I'm really excited that my order is arriving today. I've been tracking it since it left the facility in the States. I'm so eager to get it. I have a paper share coming, and I have Christmas stuff coming. It's gonna be fun. I wish there was a way I could get an extra day to myself at home without anybody here to distract me from playing with all my new toys. Okay, okay, so I've cut out my teacups, and I need like, so this one I'm going to wait till I stamp it because I had to line up my die with where I stamped it because it just fit on, like it's, you can see that it's right onto the edge. This one, it says it's time for tea. I think I'm going to stamp that. Actually, yeah, I have to stamp all these first and then I'll die cut them. I actually went ahead and I die cut the little hearts because you can only do, well, you can do 2 big hearts at a time, but the little hearts, like they have a little, there's a die that cuts 3 of them at a time, but I needed the 2 colors. So anyways, I went ahead and did that so you, because it took a little bit more time. So I didn't want to spend all my time die cutting. All right. I'm going to drag out this scrap piece again. Just an extra day, Sandra? Yeah, you know what? I mean, if I could get a week, oh my God, I don't know. I would just be blown away. Are you kidding? 2 days would be amazing. I just don't think it would ever happen. So, you know, a day doesn't seem like it would be entirely impossible, but at this point, still ain't gonna happen. Let's see, can I fit the time for tea and let's get together soon? I don't think I can fit the time to get the let's get together soon, but I can fit it's time for tea. Because let's see, where is my die? Let's see. Okay, so here's, oh, this is the flowers. Okay, there's the little hearts that I used. Put these back. I know. Okay, so the time for tea, I think, is just, it's this one, this little tag. And I just need to know, yeah, that'll be fine there. So I will stamp that there. Okay, so time for tea. It's this one. Yes. Okay, I'm just going to position it right here. And I'm using the Smoky Slate, just a gray color, to stamp in. I'll move that over just a bit so I don't cut it off give enough room for my tag to be cut out. Oops, that shifts a little bit. That's okay. Doesn't have to be exact. All right. So let's see. Time for tea. It's a little bit light, which is why I like using my Stamparatus for words, because it just makes the words fill in so much nicer when I've got. I'm going to clean that off, otherwise it's going to wreck that white. Well, I don't know if it'll touch, but just in case. I don't want to get ink on the other empty white area. That looks better. Yeah, I'm just going to press it down just to make sure I got that little 4. It's so tiny. Oh my gosh. Is there a coordinating outline for the tea bag die? Maybe. Just a second. Where did I put it? Here. Yes, there is. And I didn't want to use it. Like her original. Yes, this is just the outline. The original layout that Tammy Wilson used also did not use the outline, which I think it looks nicer like that. Okay. And take care of yourself. I'm just finding the other one. Let's get together soon. Okay, so I'll just put this here for now. And I'll have to find another scrap piece to work with. Alright, here's another piece that I die cut something else out of. And I think it's going to be large enough. So I used a stylish shape die. And I wanted a banner type of bottom on the tag that I was adding, right? But I didn't want the top part. I just wanted to be straight, and it occurred to me that I could just chop it off. So that's what I did. So I used it to cut out a piece, and then I just chopped off the top. Okay, so just checking, yes, this is the right one. All right, and it's the right size, so I will stamp on that piece there. Okay, so I want this to be near the bottom, but I want to leave enough room. So I want it to be approximately like this. So I just want to make sure I leave enough room from the bottom that I get the tag ends on this. Oops, stuck to me. That's what I find with the photopolymer ones. They tend to stick to my fingers a little bit. Okay, just making sure it's lined up straight. Looks straight to me. All right, and it's gray again. Okay, I'm just pressing gently because I don't want to press so hard that the rubber kind of blurs. Makes a blurry edge. And I'm going to stamp it again because I can see little gaps in the letters. And that's why I love the Stamparatus. That looks much better. Yeah, I think that's good. You know what? Actually, that's a little bit light. And I can do this a third time. I'm just going to press really lightly this time, just on the middle section right here. Okay, look, that looks so much better. Love it. Love my Stamparatus. Are the circle dies that come with the Stylish Shapes die sets different sizes from the layering circles? I didn't exactly check. I know that some of them must line up approximately. And I've used them together, like I've cut out one to make a border for the other. So they work well together, but I didn't actually check if they all match because the layering circles has way more circles. So I'm sure some of them must match up. Yeah, I can take a look into that. But like I said, they work well with the layering circles. Okay, let me clean that off before I forget. With the small stamps, I always tend to get like ink on the rest of the panel because if I don't have the ink pad lined up quite right. Whoops! Oh, my paper's moving. Sorry. Okay. All right. So, did I need to stamp anything else? I think that's it. Okay. So. Got to get the cut and emboss machine. Okay. Oh, ink spots. Yeah, I don't have an ink spot in that color, but that's true. I didn't think of that. I should try that if I have the right color. Thanks for the tip. Okay, I covered up the Time for Tea piece. Oh, I found it. Okay, here we go. So here's the Let's Get Together. This is the Time for Tea. Okay, so I'm just going to use the bottom edge of this, and I'll figure out, hopefully it'll be the right height, but we'll figure it out. I'm going to move it up just a little higher, because I found last time when I cut it, it was too low, so this time we'll put it there. And hopefully that's okay. So that's lined up, and I need one more die. Oops. Oh, I took it out already. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, so here's my tea bag. What do you call it? The little paper tag that goes on the tea bag. Okay, good. I'm happy with that. I'm just going to put this down carefully. Don't move. I was really disappointed when the magnetic cutting plate went out of stock. And then I saw that, oh yeah, so if you don't know, there is a magnetic cutting plate coming out. I think it's in the mini catalog. And it's so that you can place your dies and not have them move while you're cutting them. So I was excited to possibly try that out, but they actually stopped selling them almost right away. I saw a note in the demonstrator website saying that they found some problems with it even after so much testing, and they're pulling them until they can fix this. So I'm not going to get a chance to try it out after all, even if I wanted to. But I'm hopeful they'll be able to fix the problem. That looks good. And that we'll perhaps try that out at a future date. Okay, so let me move this out of the way. All right. Whoops. Let me just get some washi tape to secure that, because it's bugging me that it keeps moving. Oh yes, you have a bunch of ink spots. You know what? I do have a bunch of ink spots from my kits too. I actually leave them in the kits until I'm done with it, and but I don't have. I'm pretty sure I don't have gray, but I should take inventory. All right. Sandra asks if anybody has those, and I know that Shannon really wanted to order one, but they actually sold out before she could order it, so that was too bad. Because anybody who did order it actually will receive it, and they're actually getting refunded for those plates because they know that they are defective, but they'll still get a chance to try them out, which is really cool. Okay, so let's see, where are we going with this? All right, so I want to check if this is too long or too short. I think it's probably a bit longer than I need, just a tiny bit. So I can chop off a little bit, but I'm just going to lay it out. I like to lay things out before I actually glue them down. Oh, speaking of which, I need to glue these together. Okay, so these need to be glued together first. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, so, oh, I should have shown you this week. I was meaning to do it this week, and I completely forgot. I wanted to show you the adhesive sheets that you could use for die cuts like this, and then you can just make it into a sticker and stick it on, but I forgot. So I'm just gonna have to glue it on. I don't mind gluing, like I think I told you guys last week that I don't mind doing a little bit of gluing. Takes some patience. Not everybody wants to sit here putting little dots of glue on their die cut. I don't really mind it. But there are some days where it's like, oh, I just want to get this done and stuck on. And not have to put on all these little dots, but that's where the adhesive sheets come in handy, and especially like if I'm doing a bunch of them, it certainly makes the card project go faster if they're already got adhesive on them, and I can just pull off the backing and stick it on. I should get my tweezers out. Okay, I think I've got enough on that one. Oh, let me just get my tweezers. Okay. There we go. So, you know, if you don't have a die cutting machine, but you do have punches, you know, you could achieve somewhat similar look just by, you know, cutting out the shapes that you do have. And I saw this as another idea from another demonstrator. And not the punches part, but just basically taking your punch shapes in white and then gluing them on white to make a textured background, just like the succulents, except my succulents came from a die, but you can use a punch too. So it makes for a really, gives it more depth and texture. So you can get that kind of look even if you don't have a die cut and emboss machine, but I do love my cut and emboss machine, and there's just so many more possibilities when you can die cut some of these things. And the banner here, I mean, like, you know, most people can just create a regular smooth banner just by cutting it yourself and hand cutting the bottom. It's not that hard. So there's lots of ways to get around like things that you might not be able to do exactly without a cut and emboss machine, but you know, you can substitute, and that's the whole part about being creative and taking artistic license to produce something that you're happy with and that you have supplies for. Oops, let's press that down a little bit more. I must have missed a glue spot there because it's not staying down. Huh, I missed a glue spot, I think. I'm just going to put, hi Maureen, how's it going out on the East Coast? Because it's a super rainy day here in Ottawa. And I have a friend who's supposed to have a backyard party tomorrow, but I don't know if that's going to happen. The rain, if the rain continues tomorrow. So I'm just going to put a tiny dot of glue back here, and hopefully that'll do the trick. And I won't have these two little pieces sticking up. Okay. I think they're going to stay. All right. Now the let's get together soon. I just want to make sure. I know that I need to make it maybe a tiny bit smaller, shorter, whatever. Or I could leave it this length. I'm just laying it out because I like to see how it looks before I glue everything down. And I think this length might actually be fine. I don't have to adjust it. Let's just see. Oh, everything's sticking this morning. All right. I don't have to lay it out exactly. I just want to see if the spacing looks good. And I think it looks fine, actually. Okay. Then there's this and this teacup. And this one will lay on top. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on that. Okay. Okay, so I need big dimensionals for the teacups. And I think I cut some in half or put some small ones on the handle to keep it propped up. And actually these ones are quite, this area here, I don't want to just put it in the middle because I'm worried that if it goes through the mail, the sides will get bent down. So what I'm going to do is I can get the two smaller ones to put on each side. bigger ones. Here. And then for the handle, I think they were actually, even the small ones were too big. Hang on a sec. Yeah, I think the small ones were even, whoops, they're too wide, I think. I think they stick out, so I cut them in half. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is cut this one in half. Sorry, the sticker is flying off. Okay, I'm just going to get my other pair of scissors. I keep one pair of scissors that I kind of cut stickier stuff with because they get the adhesive stuck to them, and then I clean them off every once in a while, but I like to have the other pair completely clean so it doesn't stick to things. Okay, so there's a half a sticker. Just put that on my handle. Okay, it's ready to stick. So I'll just take the backings off. Oh my goodness, everything's sticking this morning, and not to me. I mean, not to where it's supposed to, and it's... There we go. Stay there. All right. There. All right, so this one I'm going to put on an angle here. And I'm going to stick this to, oh, I better move these off before they fall off. More dimensionals. Okay. I'm just going to stick one in the center. It's always nice to be inside crafting on a rainy day. Whoops, got a little bit of glue underneath here, I think. All right. I'm just trying to line that up with the top edge. That's good. All right, so my teacup, my second teacup is going to layer on top, so I have to be careful that I don't put any dimensionals under this section. I'll have to use just straight adhesive, otherwise it's like it'll get raised up. So just under the main teapot body. So I'll do the same thing again. I'll just put the little ones here on the bottom. Okay, this corner, wait, this corner is going to go up here, so I just make sure I didn't put it too high. All right, so I'm just going to put some adhesive here. Let me just see how much of it crosses over. So just the outer edge here. Okay. I can't believe we're in June already. Like, where did the whole year go? And now I'm like thinking, you know, it's been on my to-do list for a while to get the thank you cards for my daughter's teachers done, but all of a sudden it's like, holy crap, I only have like a couple of weeks left, and have to find teacher gifts and stuff. So okay, I think that's good. Maybe a little lower. Okay, there we go. All right. right, so now I'm going to stick on the hearts. It's really not that difficult of a card. I think the layers really make it. Maybe next week I'll attempt another fun fold. But this week is fairly simple. So I have another, whoops, purple heart here. I think I'll put that one up here. So let's put some adhesive on that. That's a really small area, so I'm going to use my tear and tape to put adhesive on that. Or actually, you know what? I could just use glue. Are those polished dots ones? Okay, so Sandra's asking if the polished dots can be colored. You know, I know a lot of these jewels can be colored, but I haven't tried it with these ones. Obviously, you wouldn't color with the ones that is already colored, but the clear one, I have a feeling you probably could. But I like with this particular design, I just leave them clear. Yeah, I could use a glue dot for this, but when I on here on the tag, I want them to lie flat, and I find the glue dot just gives it a little bit of extra height, and I don't want it for that particular spot. I do like the glue dots when I'm layering stuff and I need that little bit of extra height so that it won't bend or in certain spots because it's lying partially on top of something. So I'll fill in the space with a glue dot where instead. Sandra's all done with the teacher gifts. Yeah, I'm all done with teacher gifts for Aiden for high school, but Kara still has, she's in elementary school, so they still get thank you gifts. And actually this year, I got some great deals on kits earlier, and I am giving 2 of them. I already gave 2 of my teachers kits at Christmas time, and the plan was to get together and do them over Zoom, but we haven't been able to schedule a good time for them because they've been so busy at school. So I'm hoping to do it this summer sometime. And then the other 2 teachers, I'm going to give them kits now. So then maybe I'll have 4 teachers who I can stamp with. Okay, so those hearts are flat, and I'm going to raise the other ones. The other ones are all up on dimensionals. So the big green one here will be, I can't use a big dimensional, so I'll just use 2 small ones. I think they fit. That's what I did the first time. Oops. So yeah, the kits will make a great gift, I think, because like even if they don't want to get together with me to do them, I mean, they're pretty self-explanatory. It's all self-contained. You know, they can do it at the cottage or whatever. So I hope they'll enjoy that. But 2 of the other teachers, like I've known 3 of these teachers since because they had Aiden when he was there, so I've known them for many years and kind of know each other a little bit better than just the other teachers. So it'll be fun to stamp with them, I think. Okay, my 1 dimensional is sticking out here and it's bugging me because I can see it. I'm just going to reposition it. Just 1 tiny corner sticking out. Just want it to be inside. There we go. All right, now I can position it. So this one I placed over here. Okay, and then little purple heart. So the little ones, I actually took a tiny one and I cut them in half because they're just so small. Yep. I just saw Sandra said that kits make great teacher gifts, and I totally agree. So I've given, I'll have given 4 out this year, and I'm still hoping to stamp with them. Okay. these are tiny to work with, but it's worth it in the end for the way they look. Okay, so the purple one here, and then I have another half here, so I have more hearts to put down. I thought I had another purple heart somewhere. Oh, there it is. Here's another one. That's the other one, and then some more green hearts. That's the thing. You need like good fingernails to work with these. Okay, so here's the green one. I'm gonna put this on because it's just easier not to have it stuck to me while I'm working with the other stuff. Oh yes, the Light the Candles kit came back in stock. I noticed that. I have a friend who was waiting for it for ages, and I couldn't tell her that it was back in stock yet until I went to place my pre-order for the new catalog, and I was really happy to see that it was there. So I was hoping and praying that they didn't sell out of it again before I placed my pre-order. And they didn't, so luckily I hope they have enough stock, because that one's a good one. That's a fun kit. And it's very generic, I think, like, you know, good for guys and girls. Alright, so let's get this one on, the big heart. Okay, and then this little guy. I'm doing it as I go because otherwise I think I might lose these tiny little hearts. Okay, one more green one down here. And a purple one. I'll just do them at the same time so that I don't lose them. There we go. Yep, and there's the BOGO sale. So, you know, I'm really hoping that anybody who wanted that Light the Candles kit takes advantage of the BOGO sale. And the person who did order did take advantage. She ordered another kit to go with it, which was a good deal. Oh my goodness, stuck to me. All right, that's one. I'm not ready to stick that down yet. I want to put the big one on first. Okay, this one. Back of the green one. There we go. This is the second heart here. All right, so there's another green heart that I put down here. A big one. So let's get that one on, and then I can position the little one next to it. Oops. Sorry, the backing of another dimensional stuck to this one as I took it off. So, okay. So let's get this one on. These are overlapping a little bit, but I just want to get it close enough so that I don't get pieces sticking out. Okay, and then this one will go like this. And the little guy next to it. A little bit lower. There we go. Okay, so we're on to the last little bit now. We've got that little tea bag, what do you call this? Like the little paper thing that goes with it. I'm just gonna stick it right on here. And I think for this, I'm gonna use a glue dot. Where's my glue dots? There's my glue dot. glue dots right there. I'm just going to put on the very tip. And then I'll stick it onto the handle, and then I'll put the bow right on top of it. All right, so I decided to use a silver bow. I forget what color she used, but it's one that I don't have. So hers curled a different way, and so it looks a little bit different. And I had to work with this string, or what did they call it? Trim. I don't know, this twine, not twine, but this silver stuff curls because it's been wound around here. So I kind of had to work with it to get it to lay nicely. And I put tiny little bits of like glue dot that I snipped off to make it stay. And it's worked to some extent, although see, some of them came off a little bit. I had to press it down again. But I'm hoping that they will stay put that way. Okay, where's the end of this thing? All right, so I like to tie my my bow before I cut it, because then if it's not the right length, I can adjust. These ones are a little trickier because they're a bit slippery. Tea bag tag. Yeah, there's a mouthful. So these ones like to come undone, and I don't want to touch that too much because it does like to slip out. Okay. I like the silver touch on the card though. I think it looks really classy, for lack of a better word. I don't know. I think it adds a nice touch. See, every time I tighten this and then I try to adjust the loop sizes, it comes loose again. And this wants to curl up, so I'm trying to get it to curl down so it's not sticking out of the card. But I'm gonna have to pull these smaller and then pull it tighter. I'm sure Tara, when she sees this, is gonna laugh at me fooling around with these bows. All right, I think that's the best I can do. Maybe I'll turn it this way, and then the curl will go inward instead of sticking out. So the tail on this is not quite as long as my original. And it just wants to do what it wants to do. It's just like me on a bad hair day. Okay, so I'm going to cut the other end to approximately the same length. Doesn't have to be exactly. And I'll use a glue dot to secure it. See that? See, look at this. They're like curling every which way. It's like a bad hair day. Okay. Oh, look at this. If I do this, but then it doesn't curl. I don't know which is worse. I just straightened it out. I'm going to try and curl it around my finger. Okay, well, let's get this secured first. See, the knot keeps sliding a bit. So hopefully once I put the glue dot on, it will stay put better. So usually I only use a half a glue dot because otherwise it sticks out a lot, but it is clear. So I could possibly just put the whole glue dot on and see if that holds it. This will be an experiment. Pre-tied bows. Ha! Wouldn't that make Tara happy? Okay. Oh, I think it's too big because if I put the glue dot on, well, I think it might. I don't want it to cover my its, and I don't want it to be off the edge of the, well, I guess it's not a big deal, but, I'm going to cut it in half. I do that often with my glue dots when I'm using it for tiny embellishments. Okay, so that's in half. And I'm just going to adhere it right at the top here. Let me just check where it is, more on the right side. Okay, so there's my glue dot. And my misbehaving bow. See, look now. What am I supposed to do with this? Okay. Maybe they'll be straight today. Okay, I'm going to try and straighten this one out. There we go. And we'll have to position them. Whoops. See, my loop is too small now. That's better. Okay, so that's stuck on now. And maybe we can do something with these. I had actually put this through the arm and then under the teacup. So let's see if I can still do that. There we go. And then I'm going to take the other half of that little glue dot and stick it on, and then they stick it underneath the teacup. And then it will stay put. Okay, I'm just sticking it onto the other half of that glue dot. See, it's stuck to my finger now. And I'm just going to slide it underneath there. Tuck that end underneath and we won't have to see it. There we go. You can't really see the fraying. Okay, that's one end. And this end, let's see. I think I need a little bit of glue dot for that too. Where did I put them? Can't see for the forest for the trees. Okay. So I'm just going to take the tiniest bit of glue dot to secure this end. Oh, it's stuck to my scissors. Okay. So it's stuck to my finger. It's just a tiny bit of adhesive, and I'm just going to use it to make it stick onto the card instead of flying up. So maybe just put it at the end here. Oops, is it still stuck to me? Yes. Okay, there, now it's on the card. And I'm just going to stick it on like that. And that's it. Oh, polished dots, still need to add those. Last thing, just for a little bit of shine. Like, I think that it looks good, but the dots just give it just that little bit extra. And the magic number is 3, right? So somehow 3 always looks good. So I'm going to put one over here, one of the small ones. Use my take your pick tool because it's way easier than picking it up with my fingers. And I'll put a bigger one underneath here. And where did I put the last one? Oh, I put one right in the middle there. Just a little bit of subtle extra shine. So there, I think we're done. So that is today's card. I think the most finicky part was just the little die cuts and the ribbon that had to be added on, and not a big deal. It's just that I wanted to cut the dimensionals so that they wouldn't show underneath the hearts because they were so small. But not a hard card to do, and I think they look really cute. I think it's a really cute card. So that is today's project. Thanks for joining in. If you have any questions, well, you know, I always post the measurements for the card afterwards in the description. And if you want to try and, you know, recreate something similar with what you have, so you can go ahead and try. And thanks for joining in. And if you watched, I would love it if you comment and say hi. If not, and I will see you next week. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.